Hello, welcome back to Blender Session Live. Today I want to talk about Blender Hair and rendering it using RenderMan engine. Alright, so basically with hair, let's say you have an object like a sphere and then you shade smooth it and you want to apply hair, right? All you need to do is simply to this object that's becoming like a scalp for the hair, we simply apply particle system and we switch to hair. So we got hair like this, and we can turn dynamic if you want to have some animations. We don't need to do that now, and all you need to do is create like a hair material. If we switch to RenderMan and let's create hair material, there are actually two hair, this llama hair Chiang, and there's also Pixar Mars snare hair. I recommend you to use this one. I think it's easier to work with. So we have hair, and this should actually render. Let's get rid of default light. Right click. Let's create a preset light rigs 3-point light. So file, save as. So let's save this as hair. And this should actually render, but you won't get beautiful hair right away. Let's see, we need to also look at this with the shader editor. Okay, this is Blender one, this is RenderMan, this is Pixar Master Hair. If you have nodes like this and you collapse it, you can actually still doing it over here. So if just in case you didn't know, let's try a quick render. Yeah, so you have hair, right? And but you don't stop there. There's a lot of attributes, and you might actually get hit like hundreds attributes with hair. Not just the shader, but with the hair itself, you need to dig down and take a look at the hair, like all these properties, like simple, interpolated. You probably want to use interpolated. So the hair is gonna have like a children, and it's interpolated between each strand of hair. This seems to be actually like really long hair, like maybe it's like 10 meters by default. So let's take a look. What's special with the hair shader in relation to RenderMan is that we have this export Emitter Uv. Okay, this is something to do with scalp. You can see if you hover, it will say on hair, export the UV from emitter where the hair originated. Use the variable scalp st. Okay, in your manifold. Okay, that's actually really important. If you have like texture on your hair object and you want to apply, this is like when you use Pixar manifold and you want to use your own UV with color, you need to do this scalp st. Let's check again. Scalp st. Okay, that's correct. And if you ever want to apply your own texture, you need to do this. I have an example texture to use. Let me stop this first. So this is, like I said, this is a long hair, and we didn't do anything. We didn't do any grooming. We perhaps can do grooming later with particle edit. For now, just leave it as the default. And this should go to the diffuse color. If we do that, we're gonna get pink because we don't have texture. So I will try to apply texture first of all. I have this image. Let me show you very quickly what's the image like from the desktop. Okay, this is from Cycles, basically kind of like a psychedelic shader. I can show you how I create this later, but yeah, I'm plugging this into the diffuse color of Pixar Martian hair, and I need to increase the diffuse gain. Okay, so the hair is very interesting. It's almost like, think of hair like a like a transparent. Now we can already see there's a bit of color happening, but hair is like it's not like a grass the way RenderMan render. It's almost like a kind of like a transparent curve. So the hair itself already have like a color somehow, or or actually there's light influencing the hair at the moment, so we have like the kind of like a brownish look, and I think that's because of other attributes. So let me stop that for now. So with the hair itself, other than okay, we can do like the particle edits in a bit. Hair itself, if we turn on children interpolated, you're gonna see we can control a lot of things like clumping, roughness, kink, all of this that we can try a bit later. Similar to, you know, if you are just using Blender hair, the number of hair only 1000. Hair length is okay, it's 4 meters, so that's why it's so long. Let's reduce it to 2 meters. We can start adjusting this parting, minimum, maximum. If you want a softer hair, you actually adjust this presence, make it like smaller value. I didn't play with its color yet. There's actually one node that's dealing with hair that's actually really important, PxrHairColor. So this, on top of this color that we pipe from the scalp, will deliver like a more realistic color. So you can do it this way, and this one actually by default it's physical. I'm just gonna switch to artistic, because with artistic we can plug in our color and kind of mix and match all the color, which is this is where things get more interesting. Let's try again. Now it's kind of greenish, which I wonder, kind of wondering why it's become like greenish, but let's try randomize the hue. So interesting, we already have something happening, even though I didn't specify index over here. If I turn on view index random, you can see the hair, we get like all the random color for the hair. And the hair also, it's gonna take quite a while to render hair. Something to keep in mind. So let's see, for now we can start playing with this parting, minimum, maximum. Maybe presence should be larger, kink type. We can have curl, so this is gonna change the look of the hair totally. Clumping is actually the interesting one. You're gonna get like hair that's looking like a Goku, Dragon Ball. This is the noise, roughness, uniform. Let's see. Just need to play around with that hair shape, strand shape. Actually, I haven't played around with all these options. So 3 options, right? The hair needs to look good first of all, and RenderMan will handle that. And the hair also needs to have like some kind of form that's looking interesting, using all these options for the children interpolated. And the hair also needs to be groomed using particle edit. So that's also another thing. Maybe we should try that very quickly now. Particle edit. We have all kind of tools, so you can You can comb the hair, get it into shape, so you become like a hairdresser. You can smooth the hair. You can make like a spiky, or you can add or reduce the hair. Play with the length. So there's a grow and shrink. You can trim the hair, and this is puff. So all sort of options. Cut. Wait, that's interesting. I haven't. Oh, that's probably related to the hair simulations. So yeah, we can turn on hair dynamics. It's gonna start doing something. And the hair only looks like apparent, like it's only look beautiful if you actually render it out without the noise. So that's something to keep in mind. So let's say we want to apply this into Suzanne. A better way, I mean, you can just apply the particles and then kind of paint the weight. A better way is probably if you have a scalp, separate scalp for Suzanne, and then apply the particles only on that area. For now, for simplicity, I just gonna apply same particle system into Suzanne. So this guy being applied here. Gonna save into new blend. We can delete this, reset Suzanne. So it's not dynamic at the moment. We can turn on dynamic later or now. Okay, so it has some kind of firmness with the hair. So let's go to weight paint first of all. Okay, how to hide this? Okay, we want to paint some weight into Suzanne. So this is where we want to have the actual hair. Okay, this Suzanne have too low of resolution, so I'm just gonna smooth it and then apply subdivisions before the particles. So now we can switch to weight paint and continue painting. Maybe we want to have like a weird spike here, sideburn, maybe a bit of hair here, and down here. Okay, let's take a look at our hair. Still messy, but we can use this feature. This is where is it? Children field vertex group density. So there's all kind of attributes here: density, length, clump, kink. We can use the density that we just painted. Okay, now we have this. Well, we perhaps needs to do some particle edit. So maybe need to cut some areas. I want to keep this part on the top here, just reshaping the hair and combing it. So it's more like a bit of punk looking Suzanne. Or is it rock and roll? Oh no, it's more like punk. forever young looking Suzanne. Yeah, cool. It's actually looking pretty cool. Cut it a little bit. Stiffness, I think I need to make the hair stiff. Slight randomness, stiff one, and volume. Don't worry about hair dynamics for now, I guess. Yeah, I think it's getting somewhere. So now we have this, right? Okay, I forgot to mention, for hair, currently we haven't specified a hair material. So this is like the hair material, we should call it hair material. But we also have Suzanne, right? So we need to specify also Suzanne material. I need to create another material. Let's see, new Pixar surface material, and I call it Suzanne material. So we actually need to just apply this first. So this is the material slot, and we have two materials being applied on this guy, while for the hair material we need to specify it here. Render using hair material, render as path, coordinate system, use Suzanne, show emitter, which is Suzanne itself. Okay, I think this works. I think this should be working now. I might need to comb the sideburn here. Cut, and puff it. Let's comb it a little bit more. Yeah, I don't know this part. Let's take a look at the render. Now it's red color. It's pink color. Wonder why. I might have selected the wrong thing, or did I? Yeah, sometimes it's maybe it forgot about the hair. I need to point at the shader again. Yeah, it's probably a bug just now. So we have Suzanne material, which I can assign like a proper skin into this guy. Pixar texture. I can use my Dropbox. I have like Suzanne material somewhere here. Just plug this into the diffuse of Suzanne. Okay, and I can give specularity or whatever. Let's take a look at this material. Maybe not specularity, actually I need to add like fuzz, maybe just a little bit. So we have plastic Suzanne, and we have this beautiful looking hair. Hair strands that we created using RenderMan. So that's a lot of things happening from the hair, and then how you can groom the hair, and then you set up the dynamics and also control the the hair, how it looks as a clump, you know, like as the hair with children hair. So maybe I should play around a little bit more here. Curl, radial wave, braid. That's cool. Let's try braid. Spiral. What is this? Spiral hair. Looks very funky looking. Clump noise. Maybe reduce the clumping noise. We can increase the render amount. There's also the length here, the length of the children. Okay, we probably need to reset the simulations as well. Probably that. It gets pretty messy with the spiral. Maybe just stick with curl. What is strand shape? Yeah, interesting looking. Oh, by the way, so back to the hair, actually, with the hair shader itself, we have so much option. Let's see. We have diffuse Zinke. I think Zinke Kajia. I think Kajia is probably more saturated. You have to play around with that shadow color. We can assign we can darken the roots. That's gonna give also kind of like a nice hair variations. And straight color dye. Okay, dye. We can change this to other color. Randomize the hue, randomize saturations. This is the randomness, just the randomness without the color. Let's turn this off and look. This is without the color of the hairs, without the diffuse color. We can crank it to 100%. But maybe just leave a little bit so we can have control over this gain. Oh, this one make it like a white color hair. I wonder if we should plug this here. This is more like a highlight, I think. Yeah, I don't quite like that too much. Presence, if we turn this up to 100%, the hair looks like a thread, but if we reduce this, the hair is gonna be softer. It's probably what you want. So presence, PxrHairColor. Let's see what else we can adjust. Nothing here. This is just for the hair texture. I think we got it pretty much everything. So randomness, if I zero this out, stray random color. Okay, that's interesting. You can see now it's a bit like more like orangish, so the dye actually works. We can randomize the dye color a little bit more. And if you really want to render this nicely, you need to set up proper camera. Let's try doing that and send it to the render queue while we are continue to adjust this. So add a camera, set camera to view, and then we switch to RenderMan, this one, denoise it, and reduce the sample to 30, send it to external render. So it's gonna send the job into local queue. Okay, let's take a look at the result under temporary folder. So it's gonna generate something here. It's gonna take a while. Maybe a few minutes. In the meantime, we can continue working under different version. Actually, with the hair, I'm still wondering if we can play around further here. Long hair, what is long hair for? Roughness size. Radial. Yeah, I think I'm gonna cut this. Let's comb it. It's gonna be the hair before the simulations, so it's gonna change again. Oh yeah, it crashes. It's still rendering almost complete. Let's restart it. Maybe I cannot use the IPR while it's rendering. Maybe it's taking too much memory. Save this. Resimulate. Okay, it might be a little bit heavy. Kind of wondering if I use a different texture on this guy. Yeah, I can't seem to be rendering. So now it's doing the denoising. We can take a look at the variance and open with it. This is before denoising. The hair is actually more like red color or orange color because we dye the hair. But in the after we denoise it, it looks smooth. We might need actually like more resolutions on the hair. But yeah, hair is kind of something that will take a while to get used to. Like, it needs to look nice, but at the same time it needs to dynamically correct, and also it needs to look nice from the viewport. Need to fix the dynamic. This hair might need to be, let's see, maybe I should turn off that long hair. Okay, let's turn this on. Render amount, I can increase it or decrease it. The length, collision structure, stiffness 2, randomize a little bit. Roughness curve. I'm curious about all these options, how it translates to RenderMan. Okay. It's now becoming super messy, I think, because of all this option. Let's try curl maximum. I have a feeling that the hair is too short. We shouldn't use the long. Didn't I turn this on before? I think it should be longer. Clump, noise, parting, clump. Let's try higher number of clump. Spiky hair and clump seems to work really well. Try and reduce the noise. Strand hair shape. Increase this. Things looking better now. Curl, radial, wave, braid, spiral. It's adding a little bit of spiral, clump. Well, okay, now it's getting crazy. Spiral off. I have a feeling that not all of these options actually works with RenderMan, so it's only like some of the basic interpolations. So not all of this kink actually works. I can just turn this off. Roughness might actually works. So this is like bad hair. And tidy hair. Strand shape. Parting not too much. So I think that's pretty much with hair. I think I can just keep talking, but it's all about grooming the hair, making sure the dynamic is correct, and whether you want to have like softer hair with presence or maximum presence, so it's become like really thick kind of hair. With a spiky hair, you actually perhaps you want presence to be 1, almost 1, maybe 0.86. So it's like it's punk looking hair. I might need to cut the sideburns. We don't need the bottom part either. In fact, we might don't need the hair dynamic much. I think adding hair is an interesting option. Just gonna comb it. Smooth and puff it. There's actually a guy at King's Cross that's with this kind of spiky hair. Famous dude. Length. Like a goat. Okay. Cool. Final render. Okay, so we have punk looking Suzanne now with a wonderful RenderMan hair. It's still, you know, it's something that you want to spend a lot of time with. Darken the roots. I think the most important is this diffuse gain. It's making your hair more like transparent and reacting to the light. Let's take a look at this with the proper light. Outdoor, indoor, maybe we can go crazy with the stylized looking preset. Stylize, RGB diffuse. Okay, this is the color, the light color affecting Suzanne a lot. The hair not so much. Sunset. Oh well, I guess I can stop here. I could try using one more thing, like Shift A, add a color, add the light, Pixar environment day and light. So this is like a distance distance light, and can tint the sky. This should have a lot of effects on our character. Actually kind of want like a bit of highlight around the hair, if we can. Let's try diffuse, increase the diffuse, eccentricity, glint, width. Maybe I can increase this. This is the highlight. Doesn't look nice. I don't like it. Randomize the hue. That's very random without the hue. Okay, now I got it. Okay, this is the dye, randomized dye color. Cool, you know, it's wow. You can go crazy with the hair. Stray random color, stray density. Let's try this pinkish highlight. This is without darken the roots, and this is with darken the roots. Maybe I can also plug in like a noise, like a phaser noise into the color randomize. Yeah, now we have more variations to the hair. What if I unplug this? Let's say we have like a white color without color randomize. Interesting. So this is with just the white color, and let's increase the stray density. For example, we have more pink. Let's plug in phasers into this guy. So these have a lot of effects, I think, the dye. But I also forgot that we have this Pixar texture plug into this guy, the diffuse color. So if you want like a normal hair, you can just use PxrHairColor with a bit of randomization here. This thing that you can plug into the diffuse color can have a lot of effects on the hair itself. Okay, now I got it. So you can have like a, let's say your hair is like a kind of like a blonde looking, and you're using this PxrHairColor to add randomizations. This color that's coming from the scalp that you can, this is actually maybe not very natural. You can plug this into color randomize, maybe even, or here. So it's more subtle. So this is like more artificial hair without any natural hair color. And this one with diffuse gain, you can plug in your own Pixar texture color from the scalp. And this color is coming from this noise. I can give you this texture. Yeah, that's probably pretty much it with the hair color, with the hair hair material in RenderMan. Yeah, I haven't actually used Blender own hair material. Maybe I should try that at some point. But that's pretty much first look into Blender hair, RenderMan hair in Blender. Hopefully you find this useful. Thanks again for tuning in, and I'll see you next time. Thank you. Bye.